So when I first started, I was charging like $300 for lettering logos, and today I charge minimum of $3,000 for brand identity projects. From outside, the actual work might look pretty similar, but the difference is the strategy behind it. As a designer, you think if you have better portfolio, then you may be able to charge more. But the thing is, you might be able to make things look pretty, but can you actually build an entire brand identity that completely shifts someone's perspective of product or business? Can you make people buy the product? And this is the thing that actually creates real measurable results. And learning how to do this was the thing that allowed me to attract bigger, better clients who were willing to pay more. And for brand owners, this is what transforms your business from just another option to something people remember, trust, and love to buy from. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through my world building framework, the exact process I use to develop brands for my client to get results like this. So a little backstory about me. I didn't start it out building brand walls. I actually started as hand lettering artist. So this was over a decade ago, and I was going through my own stuff like every other youngster. And I used to scribble my thoughts on piece of paper, and somewhere along the way, I realized that drawing words in a certain way could actually make you feel something. Almost like the shape and curves has its own way of telling story. And I became really obsessed with it. And this was one of my very first posts on Instagram. And I kept sharing my works on Instagram, and clients started to reach out to me to do something like that for their own brands. And I was really good with adding meaning to lettering logos, but something always felt incomplete. I realized logo and design were only tip of the iceberg, and real secret was everything below it. The part where actual brand emotions were built. The invisible part where people remember and trust your brand, fight for your brand on internet, and basically become your hardcore loyal audience. So I spent years learning this invisible part and everything that makes a brand people love and want to buy from, and slowly build my own methodology around it. And that's what took me from charging $300 lettering logo to $3,000 brand identity projects. But before showing you my world building framework, let me show you the philosophy behind it, like how we approach branding. So this is the philosophy behind the world building framework. First, we have universe. So this is your place in this vast universe. By universe, we mean market. And there are going to be a lot of players, a lot of competitors in this vast universe. So how do you stand out instantly, and what is your place in this universe? When we zoom in a bit, we have your world. So this is your brand. This is your world. So what is going to be the origin story inside this world? What is going to be the culture of this world? What is going to be the lifestyle of this world? When we think of Red Bull, we think of extreme lifestyle, extreme sports, adrenaline junkie lifestyle. And when we think of Harley Davidson, we think of riders lifestyle, motorcycle lifestyle, like that lifestyle of freedom. So what's going to be your worldview? Because people connect with the story of this world, not the product or features. And when we zoom inside the world, we have tribe. The people that lives inside this world, basically your customers. And this is where the things start to change, because we are creating the world for our customers, and we give them a certain identity, a certain ritual that they can perform inside this world. When we think of Red Bull, they give their customers an adrenaline junkie identity, and the rituals they can perform inside the world is like extreme adrenaline junkie activities. And when we think of Harley Davidson, it gives its customers an identity of freedom rider, and the ritual they perform inside the world is like going on a motorcycle ride, gathering together, like living that freedom kind of lifestyle. And when you start giving identity to your customer that they can relate to, then you stop competing on the price and start building a loyal, hardcore fan base. And when we zoom in more, we have the mark. So basically giving them a certain mark that they can say, yeah, I belong to this world. So this is the design phase, like the tip of the iceberg. Everything before that is where we create emotions. And at this part, we translate everything and turn that into a visual form. So it's almost like a crest or a flag of your kingdom that indicates that, yeah, this is my world. So that was the philosophy behind the world building framework. So now let's dive into the actual world building framework itself. So this is my 5-step world building framework. This is how I create a brand world that your customers wants to live inside. So first step of this world building framework is why and observe. These are both done together in one session, where I take my client through the journey of world building with over 100 slides, and this entire process takes around 2 to 3 hours of intense hyper-focused workshop. And just going through this workshop will give you so much insight and valuable information about your brand and overall business that you might have never even thought of before, just like my client said.
Sorry. What you've just taken me through now is something that I would never have thought a brand would need.
What do you think? Like, this is important or the design is important?
I think this is very important, and this is, I would say, 70% of the what goes into the design.
So first half of the workshop, we focus on why. So why does your brand even deserve to exist? This is where we go into the granular level of your brand identity. This is where the soul of your brand is created. So basically, when we think of Nike, we think of motivation. When we think of Red Bull, we think of adrenaline junkie lifestyle. So what is going to be that singular thing your brand wants to be known for? This is where we create that. So for my client Need Some Energy, after going through this process, we created the identity of fast, Nobius, convenient, instant energy gummies brand. And the second half of the workshop is going to be observe. So before creating our brand world, we have to observe the entire universe. What are the competitors doing? What are the need of customers? And how can we tap into the market gap? And this stage is really important because it is going to give your customers a reason to choose you over your competitor. And for my client Need Some Energy, this is the stage where we figured out that a lot of their competitors look too much like candy or too much like a hardcore supplement brand. And the brand that looked more like candy, it was welcoming, it was playful, but it didn't have that energy kind of feel. And the brand that shows that energy was not welcoming, it looked too much like a gym bro kind of supplement. So we figured out there is a gap in a market where we can have that welcoming kind of nature as well as that instant energy kind of feel. And in this observe stage, we figured out the importance of the gummy shape itself. So we recommended a gummy shape that fits right in between the candy kind of look and the extreme gym supplement kind of look. The shape and the color of the gummies itself was unique and it was giving that quick fast energy identity of the brand. And later on we turned this gummy shape into the logo itself. So as you can see, just going through this workshop gave us so much valuable information. So it doesn't influence just the design, but it influenced the actual product and whole trajectory of the business itself. And on third stage, which is realm building, this is where the actual brand world is built. This is where we take all of the raw ingredients, raw informations from stage 1 and 2 and use it to build our brand world. And this stage is really important because this is where we create the culture of our brand world. This is where we give the identity to our customers, a rituals they can perform to be part of this world. So for my client Need Some Energy, this is how we express those tone of voice, those personality of the brand and the message in actual words. So this is the origin story we created for Need Some Energy. Every achievement begins with a single decision. A decision to get out of bed, to lace up your shoes, to take that first step, to show up when motivation doesn't. We don't believe people lack ambition. We believe they sometimes lack momentum. Between knowing what needs to be done and actually doing it lies a moment of hesitation. A moment we've all experienced. Need Some was born for those moments, with a simple belief every big achievement starts with one small step, like a friend who gives you just enough of a push to turn intention into action. Not by changing who you are, but by helping you become more of who you already can be. Because sometimes all you need is some energy, rip, chew, move. So in a simple way, we position Need Some as a bridge between intention and action. A bridge between I should do it and I did it. And this will help Need Some stand out from competitors. While competitors are selling supplements, we are selling an identity of action takers. Where they are selling more caffeine, more energy, we are selling more action, more execution. While they are selling better taste, we are selling better days. While they are talking about ingredients, we are talking about ambitions. And overall, they are talking about functional benefits and we are talking about the emotional benefits, the ultimate outcome. So as you can see, brand strategy helps us stand out from our competitor and makes our product more valuable. So if you want to learn how to create your own brand strategy, you can pick my step-by-step guide from link in description. So after we have our brand story and positioning, we have condensed everything down to 5 brand values: fast, functional, clean, bold, and raw. And to express it, we used words like energy when you need some, fast chewable energy gummies you can take anywhere, rip the bag, chew, get moving. So we wanted to tap into that fast, convenient energy USP of our brand. And it also affected the packaging itself. So as you can see, we have rip, chew, move here with an indication like this is where you rip. So that ripping effect on itself becomes a ritual customers can perform to be part of this world. So as you can see, it's not just design that is doing the heavy lifting. It's the meaning behind it, the actual words you say to create that brand world. Now stage 4 is looks. This is the first time we start designing. Everything before that is strategy and emotion of the brand. Now we will take everything and translate that into a visual form. And this stage is really special for me because everything in this stage doesn't start from computer. It starts with pencil and blank canvas. Because once I understand the brand strategy, bringing it to life by hand for me is the best way to express brand's personality and emotions. Because it creates something that feels human, something with character and personality instead of something manufactured or corporate. In fact, this is the DM I got and clients are choosing me specifically for this part because I do everything by hand. And when I first start, I don't just sketch the logo, I sketch everything that is meaningful towards the brand. Also, if you want to dive deep into how I draw hand-lettered logo for my client, then you can check out this video. For this brand, we wanted to have that fast, instant energy feel. So as you can see in the illustration style, it has that quick, instant energy kind of feel inside it. We have a lot of spark element. We have this skull with the lightning bolt inside this eye to give that like highly energized kind of feel. Also, we used color strategically to give that brand emotion. So we have a power black to have that deep, powerful, impactful feel. And we used energy yellow to give that quick, instant energy vibe. We have like metal gray to give it that tool to get you energized feel. And we have that clean white to give it clean energy feel. Also, the most important part of this branding was that ripping ritual that customers can perform to be part of this world, that ripping effect. We wanted to own that. So what we did was create this ripped paper effect kind of illustrations over here, and you will see that in entire branding. Also, we turned all of the illustrations into a pattern so you can see it in all of the branding as well. And fonts were also chosen strategically to give that playful, welcoming feel along with that quick, instant energy vibe of the brand. And we made sure logo is functional on a small space like social media icon as well as big hoarding boards. And you can see illustrations used in multiple things like highlight icons and all over the branding. And this is how it looks on website. This is how it looks on merchandise, obviously packaging, boxes, and obviously photography direction because it is huge part of creating that brand world culture. So these are the photography direction we took for Need Some Energy. And first one we have is part of daily routine. So we are showing product inside the daily routine of our customers. And this one is really important because once we are able to integrate our product inside the daily routine, daily rituals of our customer, then they will keep coming back and keep buying your product for a long period of time. And that's how you increase the LTV, the lifetime value of your customer. So this one is really important. So basically daily part of their routine. And obviously we have rip, chew, move, the ritual they can perform to be part of this world. So that ripping effect on itself shows it's like fast, convenient, raw energy, like clean energy kind of look. And the goal of this is visually communicate the brand's promise, like that instant energy without any preparation, convenient, fast, those kind of stuff. And third we have is pocket power. So again, it's like a tool, like ammo. You can have it in your pocket and take it whenever you need that instant boost of energy, like when you are in the point of like hesitation, like should you do it or not, just take it out, rip, chew, and move. So at the end we have on the go energy. So like it's highly portable, showing it's really travel friendly, like while you are going on the hiking, while you are going on your work, showing that on the go energy side of the brand. So having clear photography direction like this is really important because when people see the product photography, we want them to instantly understand the culture of this brand world. We want them to really understand what are the rituals and everything about the brand in just single glance. And fifth and final stage is distribution. This is where we take everything we have created, package it, and get it ready to show it to the world. And this is where I start creating brand guidelines. This is like 50 to 60 page of rules and regulations about your brand, what to do, what not to do. And brand guidelines are really important because in past I used to give my client all of the final files, but when I check in after 6 months, everything is off. The colors are off, the logo looks different, the illustration are like squeezed and everything, fonts are different, and the whole brand perception, whole brand emotion we worked so hard to create was gone. So brand guidelines will help you avoid that and keep everything intact. So that is my world building framework that I use to transform a struggling and unknown brand into a brand that is ready to disrupt its category. So in the next video, I'm going to share you more in-depth walkthrough of how I use this framework for my client project from start to finish, where I'm going to show you all of the sketching parts and all of the behind the scenes. So make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video.